Welcome to Grizzly News. I'm Josh Beaton, bringing you this week's campus news from the C3 building. At the top, the Lombardi Trophy is heading back to Boston for the 5th time. The Atlanta Falcons fell to the New England Patriots in their first Super Bowl appearance since 1999. The Falcons fought all season to get there, but were sadly unable to pull out the win. However, the city of Atlanta still rises up with their Falcons. In other news, our friends at the Globe have revamped the design of their entire newspaper, citing the need for print media to become more modernized. In a letter from the editor, Julie Thompson wrote that the physical news calls readers to participate and contribute to this campus in a way that an app just doesn't, and if print newspapers disappears, society will be none the better. That doesn't mean that we should do things the same old way they've always been done. If print is to remain a modern medium, then it too should change and adapt to match the interest of the current generation. Now, moving on, the GGC's Academic Enhancement Center's Tic-Tac-Toe program won a Chancellor's Service Excellent Student Improvement Initiative Team Award Silver Level. This system-wide communication recognizes the tutoring team's ability to adopt continuous improvement methodology that emphasizes student and/or employee satisfaction as well as quality of service. Our provost, Dr. Arendt, commented on the news saying, "This is very meaningful to us since the college was designed specifically to ensure that students are able to find paths to success. We are proud that our tutoring team received this distinguished recognition for their important work with our students." With that, we are going to take a quick break. Coming up, violence erupts on the campus of UC Berkeley in response to news of a controversial figure speaking on campus. Is the area of freedom of speech on college campus over? Also, Valentines Day is approaching. What do our students' organizations have planned for the campus? We'll have all of that and more when we return. We'll be right back.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back. This news is out of California. A speech by a controversial Breitbart editor at UC Berkeley was canceled last week in the wake of protests that turned violent. Now I want to bring in our correspondent Aaron Motton, who has been following this story for us. Milo Yiannopoulos was supposed to speak. It was canceled. Aaron, tell us the latest. What has happened on UC Berkeley?
Apparently a lot of people who do not agree with what he has to say, which more likely they have never heard of him before, they just listen to word of mouth, and then decide to shut it down because they believe that his ideas will lead to far worse things that any type of rioting would ever happen.
Right. And well, so let's get into first, do you think that that's right? Do they have a right to voice their opinion? Do they have a right to
Absolutely
protest?
not. See, the thing about it, they like to do protesting, saying that, of course, they have the right to do it under the First Amendment. But of course, Milo has a right to say things because that's part of the First Amendment to be able to speak. They will consider it to be hate speech, but it's not. A lot of people like to say that it's hate speech completely because they do not agree with the ideas that he's saying.
Right.
However, if you do not like what he's saying, that leaves for room to debate, not to shut things down.
Right. No, I would agree with you there. So you were telling me how much damages happened on the campus?
Caused over $100,000 worth of damages just because you don't like what he has to say.
Right. So I think everyone can agree on that type of protesting is not good and counterproductive.
Well, I wouldn't consider it to be protesting. I would consider it to be rioting.
Okay.
And police weren't really there at all. They decided to just stay out of it, which is very shaming.
Sure. So that rioting is not good, and we've seen this rioting happen since Trump was elected, and now we've seen it at UC Berkeley. So my question is, why do you think that, how does it happen? If everyone agrees that rioting is so bad, why does it happen?
I have no idea. I feel like for the most part, there was a lot of stuff in the news saying that Trump supporters are extremely violent. So of course, I believe that In retaliation, liberals believe that it is okay to attack people with opposing ideas, believing that they are deserving of this. Because if they agree with anyone who's conservative, who likes Trump, or what they would consider to be racist, Nazis, or anything like that, they believe that they have the right to take action against these people.
Right. Right. So, final question, I guess. So, what we see at UC Berkeley, do you think that is there a reason to believe that that might happen on more campuses in the future?
I believe so, simply because as academics became more liberal, they start censoring what people can say. My teachers have came to me and say, look, you can only say certain stuff. You need to be more politically correct. So I believe as anything that goes against those simple ideas that are being taught within these liberal universities across America, any type of conservative that ever tries to come to campus, more people would be more hostile towards them. So I believe so it might happen in the future.
Yeah, and obviously we want to prevent that, right?
Absolutely.
So hopefully, GDC and all universities can really prevent that. Now let's quickly touch on the temporary Muslim ban, that the executive order that went out.
Well, not a Muslim ban, more of a travel ban, and it only affects about 15% of the Muslim population, so it's not as big as they like to say. The Department of Justice went out there, I think it was over the weekend, they said that it stopped about 100,000 Muslims from entering the U.S. However, that number was quickly changed down to 60,000, so of course it's not as high as they like to say it was.
Right, and what's the latest on that, just for our viewers?
Well, there was a judge in Seattle who banned that whole idea. They went against that executive order, so they're probably going to allow it now.
So just for our viewers while they're watching this, what is the latest on that temporary travel ban, as you put it?
Well, today, federal judge James Robart ruled against it, so he believes that what it was done was unconstitutional, even though it is considered constitutional based on executive order. So pretty much he wants to block that idea, and he wants to allow some, or at least now the vetting process go along quicker, right, to not ban people who have visas.
Gotcha. Right. So just a more simplified and efficient process.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Aaron, for joining me. Now let's move into some lighter news. Valentine's Day, it's coming up, which means more than likely our student organizations have lined up a fun week of events to help celebrate the occasion. For more information on this, I'm going to bring in our new correspondent, Chelsea Koffel. So, Chelsea, what do we have to look forward to next week?
Thank you, Josh. Here this Tuesday on February 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. on the Grand's Courtyard, Res Life will be hosting an event called Lit on Love. There will be a kiss cam booth, sex advice, speed dating, and a making love card making station, along with a secret admirer station, and a special guest performance by Matthew Sky. On Monday, February 13th, Green Light Grizzlies, along with the wellness program and PRCG, will be hosting cupcakes and condoms. There will be live performances, condom relays, free condoms, free lubes, safe sex items, and making your own cupcakes. On February 9th from 2 to 3:15, the Black Student Union will host a hip-hop workout where you exercise while learning hip-hop culture. And lastly, the night of worship on February 9th from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. will praise the Lord through song along with a special guest speaker. Now back to you, Josh.
Well, thank you for that report, Chelsea. We're going to go ahead and check in with Matthew for the weather for this week. Matthew?
Hello, GGC Nation. Well, lately we've been having a twist and turn lately with the weather. Like one day it's 50s and the next thing is 60s. We've been dropping in the cold. The pattern's still going to continue for the next few weeks. The groundhog here in Georgia did see a shadow, so we're going to not 6 more weeks of spring. However, the other groundhog did not see a shadow, so it's a little in between. Back to you, Josh.
Thank you, Matthew. We're going to come back with the Grizzly of the Week, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're a college student, master of passing exams you didn't study for. And you watch Grizzly News because it's the only reliable source for broadcast news on this campus.
Wow, that was a pretty good story.
Yes, it is, student bro. Yes, it is.
Leadership, scholarship, creativity, and service are a major component of what is expected of Grizzlies here at GDC. We feel as though it is important to highlight members of the Grizzly community that best exemplify one of these 4 principles. Today we have chosen Myra Beeman as our Grizzly of the Week. Thanks for being here, Myra.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So you were telling me just some of the things that make you a leader, and what is your impact here at GGC?
Well, I'm here a lot. That's one of the major things to have a heavy impact. You have to be here a lot and be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking 5 classes right now, and I'm in 2 major organizations. One is the 4 Pillar Society, which I'm actually the president of.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the charter president, so a lot of fumbles and trying to navigate like what I should do, because I don't really have anybody to follow. And then I'm also in SGA as the director for finance. So.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So when you say the charter president of the 4 Pillar Society, what is your role in the 4 Pillars, or what does that mean? What does that mean?
What does it mean to be the president?
Or the charter president?
The charter president? It's just a fancy title, meaning no one's done it before me.
Okay.
But my role really is to make sure, well, at least what I feel like, is that everybody's good. So the 4 Pillar Society as a whole is about basically shaping GGC students to be productive citizens and business people in our community overall. So no matter what your major is, no matter where you're going to be in life, it's just good to have certain skills.
Right.
How to talk to people, how to convey what you want without demanding something. So certain things that we just work on in our weekly, or not weekly, monthly meetings. So
sweet. Well, that's really great that you've taken the charter president title and are helping out GGC in that way. So you graduate this summer.
I do.
And what do you plan to do after that?
After I graduate, I want to work in the USG system, either for the actual USG department or just one of the accredited schools here in Georgia. I want to work in academic counseling. It's something I found out that I really love and care about, is to make sure that students on these campuses get the help that they need. And that goes above and beyond just, okay, well, here's your start point, here's your Z for graduation. There's a lot of in between, and there's a lot of hard work and dedication that it takes to obtain a degree. And you need more people to counsel other people on that. So
cool. Wonderful. Well, if you had one tip for the Grizzly Nation, the people watching this, anyone at GGC, what would it be?
I'd definitely say just get involved. I know, like, they beat it into you to get involved, but it really is true. Like, I wasn't involved before. I lived on campus, and I'm more involved now, and I'm here probably like all the time, and I love it. And I found like lifelong friends through getting involved, and I never thought I could find that going to school. And I know we're a commuter campus, but really, if you get involved, it definitely changes your college experience, which is what you make of it overall. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Myra. You heard it from her. Get involved. Thank you for being here, and we will get your award soon.
Okay.
Well, that's it for this week, and as always, keep growling, Grizzlies.